This really is such an exciting honor to be speaking with you today. Just like everyone else mentioned, I've been visualizing this every single moment, every morning since this time last year. So to actually be with you here today feels incredible. And I do just want to give a very quick shout out to my team over there. I honestly feel so proud to be representing you here today. So, if you're anything like me, I know that you're going to be absolutely buzzing after the training you've had so far. I mean, Rachel Hollis blew my mind. Anyone else? Annette, you made me totes emosh. Thanks for that. I think you're amazing. And I just know that your minds are going to be absolutely going a million miles an hour, thinking of all the things you need to get home and put into practice in your business. But I'm going to encourage you to stay with me today and stay focused, because over the next 25 minutes, I'm going to give you absolutely everything I've got to empower you to walk out of here this weekend and completely transform not only your business, but also your life. It's very exciting, isn't it? So, I'm also going to let you in on a little secret. I have figured out the secret to having the most unbelievable amount of self-belief. So big, it crushes every single self-limiting belief that you have. Do you want to know my secret? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought you might. So, this is actually my 5th AAC, but I remember my first one like it was yesterday. It was in Liverpool, and I was a brand new district manager, and I went along as a team of 3. There's a picture up here. So this is me and my team. That's me and now Executive Regional Vice President Amy Breslin. Whoop, whoop. She was a consultant at the time. And my gorgeous mum, Executive Area Manager mum. Her name's Susan Meyers. She's amazing. She's always like, everyone only knows me as Carly's mum. But, you know, she's got a name. She doesn't talk like that either. She does sometimes. So I remember sitting there in the arena, just in awe of everyone. And I just remember thinking, OMG, I could never do that. I was looking at the people on stage and just thinking, I could never be like that because I'm not as confident as her, I'm not as successful as he is, I'm a terrible public speaker, I'm not as attractive as her, and blah, 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 all this rubbish. So, has anyone, put your hand up, had any kind of feelings like that this weekend so far? You've just looked at someone and thought, oh, I just couldn't do that. So, keep your hands up. I want you to look around and see how many people feel exactly the same way you do. You are not alone, my friends. You are not the only one with a crazy psycho chimp sitting on your shoulder. Those little buggers are everywhere. But secondly, I want you to know that what you've been saying to yourself this weekend, and probably for years and years of your life, is absolute rubbish. And I'm going to help you change that today. So, my training today isn't really about my story or my journey, but I do believe in order to be able to help you in the way that I really want to, it's important that you know where I was when I started Arbonne, because if nothing else, it's going to give you a lot of hope that you can absolutely do this too. So, this is me when I started Arbonne. I was 26 years old, living in London, and as you can see, I was a major party animal. You'll probably also notice I had a couple of subtle hairstyle changes, just a few minor alterations. When I was in the show We Will Rock You, I actually thought I was a rock star, and I shaved my head. So this is what I like to call my strong and wrong phase, and it definitely wasn't a particular favourite of my parents. I was a total flaky Jake. I read recently in a book that you're either a starter or a finisher, and this was definitely true for me. I was so a starter. I had so many ideas and started so many random business ventures, but then we just get bored and quit after a few weeks. So I started my own dressmaking company called Carly Can Make That, which is this picture here, and I just used to make anything that anyone wanted, basically. I had an airport taxi driving service when I lived in Germany. I studied for a diploma in sports psychology and then got bored and quit 2 weeks later. I was in the industry of interior design for private jets, and I did a course in gel nails and waxing. And when I was in the shows in the West End, I used to get one of the dressing rooms upstairs and do the girls' gel nails and the males' intimate waxing. What was I thinking? So gross. I had the attention span of a gnat, and it just became a running joke with my family and friends that I wouldn't stick anything out. So you can imagine what they thought when I started Arbonne. I was terrible with money. I was in a really bad financial position when I started Arbonne. I had no money, loads of debt, and awful credit. The bank of mum and dad was a real thing, and to be honest, I was just always in a bit of a pickle. To give you an idea of my financial position when I started Arbonne, this is actually the first post I ever posted on my sponsor Lana O'Brien's Facebook team page. So if there was ever a confirmation that I needed a bigger income, tonight was it. I just waxed my own bikini line because I can't afford to get it done. Strive for great success, ladies and gents, because no one should have to do that. #raw. Not ideal. My why has changed a little bit since then. I was also so unhealthy. So, oh my God, that's so much worse on the big screen. Doesn't look that bad on my iPad. Right. So, this was me 2 years ago when I first stopped dancing and was working for Apple. And the picture in the middle is me just quite thrilled with the sight of a cheap burger. I had absolutely no idea about healthy living. My idea of a balanced diet was 4 different types of cheese on my pizza and maybe a Muller Light yogurt because, you know, it's got calcium and all that, so that's good. I was totally in the Arbonne closet. For the first 2 years of my business, I was so consumed by what people thought of me, and I would be mortified if anyone knew I was doing this. I remember once I was in an audition and I bent down to put on my Arbonne lip gloss really slyly so no one would notice. And I went and put it on and someone said, "Oh my God, do you do Arbonne?" And I was like, ah. Literally died. It was like I was a secret eater that had been caught in the fridge. I was like, ah. No, I don't do Arbonne. No, basically, my mum does Arbonne. I would never do something like that. She just sells lipsticks. I buy her lipsticks because I feel sorry for her. I've told her not to do it, but honestly, she won't give up. She just does it all the time. Literally just combusted in front of that person. Not good. And I remember, even as a district manager, my gorgeous sponsor, Executive Regional Vice President Lana O'Brien, bought me an Arbonne necklace as a congratulations from Vegas. And I was like, oh, babe, that is so sweet. Thank you, babe. I'm going to wear it every day for my life. It is just the best necklace I've ever received. And threw it in the back of a cupboard. I was like, as if I'm going to wear an Arbonne necklace. This is mortifying. Sorry, so grateful now. I'm actually wearing it today. I am wearing it today. But about a year ago, my fiancé, we were moving house, and my fiancé Kurt found the necklace and gave it to me, and I snatched it from his hand, pinned it to my chest, and now I honestly wear it like a badge of honor. I am so proud to wear my Arbonne necklace. Yes! I had really low self-esteem. The time when I started Arbonne was one of the lowest times of my life. They often say that from your lowest points come your greatest moments, and that was definitely true for me. I'd not long come out of an awful, toxic long-term relationship, and my self-esteem was on the floor. I felt stupid, fat, ugly, worthless, and just incapable of achieving anything of great value. But now, thanks to Arbonne, the amazing people I've met through it, and of course my gorgeous fiancé Kurt, I now know that I'm none of those things. Thanks. And lastly, I was not personally developed at all. It took me a really long time to really understand the importance of personal development. To be honest, I just really didn't think I needed it. Like I said, I've got an awful attention span, so this whole reading 10 pages a day thing, nah, not for me. However, turns out when you do read it, it really works. Who knew? I always say to my team now, I am so different now to when I started, and no one ever believes me. But luckily, I've got a video. Woohoo! So, this is me 2 years into my business.
Hi! Okay, so I'm feeling inspired. I'm just back from Vegas and I'm setting some goals. So, right now, it's Wednesday the 22nd of April 2015 and I'm an executive district manager. I'm also in qualification for area. So, end of May 2015, I will complete area and I'll have 5 district managers in my team. Amy, Mum, Adam, Kurt and Hayley. Then, November 27th, 2015, I will be new regional vice president, we will be a region, and I will be driving a Mercedes and parallel parking it outside this house. Yo, what's up? We're doing it!
So, as you can see, I wasn't even really mentally developed, let alone personally developed. And yeah, that's me 2 years into my business, declaring my region goal, dressed as a onesie, as a dinosaur onesie. And yeah, you won't be alarmed to know that I didn't complete region that time. I can't think why, no idea. So, that's it. That's my character profile of myself in the first chapter of my life. I think you'll agree, it doesn't exactly scream VP, does it? In fact, I asked all of the vice presidents recently what characteristics they believe are imperative to becoming a vice president. And these are a few that they came up with. The thing I love about all of these is that they are all learnable. They're not things you just have to be born with. You don't have to be tall, thin, smart, blonde, brown, whatever. You have the power to be every single one of these things on this list. And you know what? If you're sitting here today and you are none of those things up there, it's completely irrelevant. This business is all about who you're committed to becoming along the way. So, how would you describe the first chapter of your life up until now? And what do you want your next chapter to look like? What do you want it to be called? The first step before you start any journey of personal development is to master the art of self-awareness. I once gave a colleague of mine the book, The Chimp Paradox, because I knew that he was really being controlled by his chimp. And after he read it, he said, "Carly, oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you so much, it's changed my life. I now know exactly what my wife needs to do to be better." I was like, cool, man, that's good. So, I want you to take some time after this weekend and create a character profile of yourself, just like I did. Now, I don't want you to be really negative and tear yourself apart, but I do want you to really study yourself and your behaviours and just be really honest. Now, this isn't like when you were 8 years old and you'd write in your diary and you'd kind of be honest, but also paint yourself in a good light just in case your mum read it. I want you to be really honest. No one's going to read it because I really want to help you own who you are right now, but know where you need to grow in order to be successful in this business. So the top 3 characteristics that the VPs all agreed were imperative to becoming a nation are vision, resilience, and courage. You've all heard these so many times this weekend already. Now, I want you to write down or circle which of these you believe you need to work on the most. And you can write all 3 if you want to. So let's talk about vision. The ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. It's important to know where your current vision stretches to. We all have a threshold, and we place a subconscious limit on what we believe we can achieve realistically. And then anything past that threshold becomes a fantasy. It goes into the, "oh, wouldn't that be nice" section. I can always tell when I'm talking to someone where their current threshold lies just by asking questions like, "so what Mercedes are you going to get?" If they get a bit weird and they go, then I know that that particular goal is still in their fantasy section, and we've gone past the threshold. I also see this a lot when people get to district. They work so hard to get to that title, and then they stay there for ages. And that's because actually, the reality of actually earning £1,000 a month as an area manager it's gone past that threshold. It's too much. They don't physically think that they can earn that realistically. If what you want is past your vision threshold, it's not going to happen. So who you are surrounding yourself with plays a massive part in your vision. Have you ever noticed when you're talking to Sarah Dunning or Ian Pritchard, your story is very different to talking to someone else. When you're talking to them, you're going to be a 4-wide ERVP, and you're going to holiday in Maui, you're going to have a yacht in Barbados, and it's all about the monies, like that. Or when you're talking to Sally the neighbour, you're just trying to get some extra pennies together to pay the school fees. Do you know what I mean? But if you keep talking to Sally the neighbour, that's going to become your limit, and that's what you're going to start to believe you're worth. Don't ever lower your vision to make people around you more comfortable. Just change the people around you. Woo! And lastly, you need to be a vision caster. How you speak about this business will determine how big of an opportunity someone sees it. We know we have the best products in the best business, the best company, the best industry, but if you downplay it just because you don't want to scare someone off, you're not inspiring anyone. I didn't join because Lana told me I could make a little bit of extra cash on the side. I joined because she painted a vision so clear and so big, I couldn't possibly say no. How big are you painting this business? Now, don't get me wrong, it isn't about hype or making false claims or getting in people's faces, but it is about sharing your vision and speaking with passion and absolute clarity of where you are going. I heard Debbie Neal say recently, no one will ask you where you are today if you keep telling them where you're going. I hear so many people say, yeah, but it's okay for you because you've got the car. I haven't made any money yet, so I really can't paint that big picture. But we all started off without the car, and no personal evidence that this works. Your words and your passion are all you've got. The car and the evidence comes later. Resilience. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. So hands up if anyone has ever said no to you about the business. Keep your hands up if 50 people have said no. 100, 200, 500. Oh, interesting. Lots of VPs still have their hands up. So this is just part of it. Do not let the no's take you out or make you think that you are any different from anyone else. The MVPs are MVPs because they've just had way more no's than anyone else sitting here. And they have the resilience to keep going regardless. And their bounce back rate is so quick. I love it when John O'Leary says, why me? We hear this phrase so often, don't we? And people usually say it from a place of victim mode. Why me? Why is this happening to me? But I want to challenge you, when times get tough, to ask yourself, why me? Why am I being sent this? What am I meant to learn from this? And how can I use it to grow? So have you decided that you are honestly all in, like truly till death do us part style commitment? When you're not all in, this business is exhausting. Wondering if it's right, wondering if there's a better way, will it work, won't it work, will I work it? It's just draining. It's like being in a really bad relationship. Just stop overthinking it and jump all in until it's done. It does work, there is no better way, and you can do it too. And lastly, courage. The ability to do something that frightens one. Bravery. Let's be honest, it's all just a little bit scary, isn't it? Speaking to strangers, scary. Making a phone call, scary. Standing up here, absolutely petrifying. But it's only scary until it's done. I love this quote. If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint and that voice will be silenced. There are so many things that we fear, and the stories we tell ourselves are so paralyzing, but the #1 cure is always to take action. If you're scared of doing the one-to-one, the answer isn't to just stay at home and only send video links of other people in the hope that one day you might be good at them too. The answer is to get out and do so many one-to-ones that it becomes like second nature. If you're scared of meeting people, the answer isn't to just stay at home and only talk to your cat and just stay on social media all day. The answer is to get out and put yourself in situations to meet people. Go to coffee shops, go to gym classes, go to networking meetings. Put yourself in that position. And if you're scared of failure, the answer is not, and never will be, to quit. Just prove to yourself that when the going gets tough, you don't quit. Now, you'll notice a theme in all of my 3 points there, and that's to get out. This is so important. Believe me, I love social media, and I loved the social media panel today. I use it massively to help me grow my business. But you also have to get out and meet people to be able to learn the skills to talk about this in person. I mean, Arbonne gave us a white Mercedes car for a reason, so we can go out and meet people. If we were meant to just stay at home and sit on social media all day, we'd get a nice white leather corner sofa, nice little two-piece. They'd be like, there you go, stay there, you're done. No, get in your car, go out and drive your business. In my opinion, it's all just got a little bit too convenient. You can watch the trainings online at home in your pajamas. There's a DA 20 minutes away. There's Insta Lives, Facebook Lives, Zoom calls. There is so much available that it's all become really easy not to do some of it. But you know, every time there's an important training, and you don't go to it because it's too far or it's not convenient, but you know deep down you probably could have gone if you tried hard enough. That has a massive impact on your self-belief. I believe the number one thing that holds us back most from having a big vision, resilience, courage, is self-belief. At the beginning, I said I would tell you the secrets of mastering your self-belief and why I believe so many people struggle with it. And this is it. You haven't yet proven to yourself that no matter how hard it gets, you won't break your own promises. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't follow through with it, you are validating every single self-limiting belief that you have. When you have even the tiniest of doubts of whether or not you think you can do this, your crazy little brain will go back and search through the archives and look for evidence. And it will say, yeah, but you said you were going to do the 30 days and you only did 12, so yeah, you're probably not going to do it. Or you said you were going to contact 4 people a day and you've only contacted 1 this week, so yeah, you're probably not going to do it. You have the power to delete those archives and create some new files for your mind to feast off. So this was me. For years, and even up until last year, I was constantly making promises to myself, declaring them to the world, and then just giving them up. In September last year, I told everyone who would stand still long enough that I was going to do a bikini fitness competition, you know, like the one that Sarah Law did. I bought a month's diet plan, I quit after a week, and never went to the gym again. When people would ask me how it was going, I'd say, I've sacked it off. Classic Carly, standard behaviour. I would usually be tucking into some cheese-based snack at this point as well. And I didn't know it at the time, but this had the biggest impact on my self-belief. At the beginning of this year, I felt like I was in a bit of a rut in my business. And to be honest, I was really starting to question whether or not I had what it takes to become a nation. I'd lowered my vision to something a little bit more realistic. My resilience was wavering, and I wasn't being courageous at all. When I was explaining again why I wasn't competing, I said, yeah, but that's just what I do, though. I start things and I don't finish them. And it totally hit me. I thought, no, I don't. That's not me anymore. I started Arbonne. I built a massive business that I'm proud of. That's not my story anymore. So I realized I had to do something to permanently change that evidence. So in March of this year, I got an online coach. I've been training 6 days a week for the last 7 months. And tomorrow morning, I will compete in my first of 2 fitness competitions this year. It has been so hard at times. I mean, this conference is testing. I've got all my food in this Tupperware, and I'm eating dry rice and dried chicken, and it's all just so dry. But it's totally tested my physical and mental strength. But I cannot tell you what it's done for my self-belief. I now have no doubt in my mind that I will be a national vice president this year. Yes. I have no doubt in my mind that I will also be a New York Times best-selling author. And I have no doubt that I will be the top female motivational speaker worldwide, because I've now proven to myself that if I say I'm going to do something, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've rewritten the archives in my mind, and now my new evidence shows that I can do anything I set my mind to. Do you get how powerful that is? These two photos here are two of my proudest moments, not because I've got a sick car or killer guns, but I'm absolutely thrilled with both of them, but because they represent everything that I wasn't 5 years ago. They represent discipline, commitment, tenacity, and strength. And I was not that girl. I mean, you saw the dinosaur onesie. But this training is not about me. It's about you. What are you going to do? When you leave here today, you will all set huge goals for yourself and make audacious declarations to your team or your upline. And honestly, I want you to. I hope you do. But prove it. Remember, whatever you do with the goals you set yourself today will determine how you feel about yourself from now on. If you say you're going to sponsor 4 people this month, do it. If you say you're going to return as a region, do it. And if you say you're going to finally get fit, do it. You have the power to smash or shatter your own self-belief. And with so many people letting you down on a daily basis, can you really afford to let yourself down too? Every time you go to quit on what you said you were going to do, ask yourself, how will this affect my self-belief? And how will this affect how I view myself? It is okay if sitting here today, you have no vision, no resilience, no courage, and no self-belief. But it is not okay if you leave here this weekend and don't decide to do something about it. You are all far too special and powerful beyond measure to be walking through life thinking anything otherwise. So do yourself a favor and prove it. Prove to yourself and everyone around you that you are worthy of infinite possibilities. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I have loved it.